being disaster tested is, to me, is like if you've been through some fucked up shit like that personally, and it doesn't change who you are, or and if it does change, it changes you for the better.
Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome to another episode of Disaster Tested, an interview series where we talk to dope artists who do dope things and talk a little bit about their life story and how they overcome the struggles that life had to throw at them. Today, I'm sitting here with my friend and a musical artist named Hassan. Hassan, what are you gonna say to the people?
What's good? Hope you guys are gonna enjoy this conversation. We about to engage, and we're gonna bring the energy.
Okay, so as a musical artist, go ahead and, because there's some people watching right now who don't know you, I want you to just give a brief biography of yourself and your come up relating to your musical career.
Okay. Well, a biography about myself. My ethnicity is Iraqi. I'm born and raised in San Diego, so this is like home, and that has a lot of influence on me as a person, my interests, and personality. So I started making music in high school. I was around like 15. I actually didn't start writing rap songs first. I started writing poetry.
Okay.
And and before I started writing poetry, what got me into that was like journaling therapy.
Okay.
I started doing that like my sophomore year, which led into poetry. And
were you writing poems for yourself?
I was writing poems like romance and shit. Like nobody gonna see that. It was just like
to girls and shit?
To a girl, Had a little journal. I wrote a lot of poetry in it. It was what, sparked the mind that I already had, but I never like discovered yet. And I was the creative side. It's just like channeling my, I had to channel my feelings and my energy into music, into songs. And
how does that process work?
Like I said, bro, like it really was just it is an expression, Yeah. And now to be at a business level, commercial level, I understand like the business of it, It's not easy as well. Like you sacrifice a lot, and you don't call it a sacrifice because you're doing what you love, but at the same time you feel like.
Well, tell me about those sacrifices. What are you sacrificing?
Well, most of the time, like, I might seem like I'm popular to other people or whatever, like personally, but I'm not. Yeah. I'm at home working on music.
Okay.
Like if I had more friends to hit up and go associate with and hang out with and do it often, like that would be cool. But I don't really do that, You change when you're at home and you want to work on music, And if you want to go out, it's like, where do you spend your time? Sometimes when I go out and I don't enjoy my time when I'm out, I think about I could be mixing, or I could be working on a song. I could be doing this. That. And I'm like, like I'm not working at my potential. And so that's a sacrifice. And then, it's work, like.
Why do you continue to sacrifice these things? Why do you continue to take this path that is different than, a lot of other people in your life?
Honestly, bro, like I feel like it's meant for me to like do this. I'm destined. Like I wouldn't have got to where I am. I wouldn't have got this far. I wouldn't have been this determined. But I always was determined from when I started. Like I didn't know how to produce in high school, but I'm like, I'll learn. I didn't have money for a studio, but I was like, I'll get money. I didn't have nothing. And piece by piece, time came with that determination. Like the universe opened that label to me. They gave me a studio time, access to like, CJ, the engineer and the artist I'm working with. Like I'm super grateful. Like meeting those people on this path, like assured me that keep going, And like you just gotta know when. I always say follow your feeling, and like for me, music is all feeling. So if I can't make something that I'm really not feeling, and it's really like a book, because now you're keeping all your feelings. Like last year when I made Last Call, over a year ago, I was feeling that, but I don't feel that way now.
But that's good. That's the beauty of music. Is we get the little 3-minute, 12-second snippet of how you feeling at that time.
At that moment. And then that thing lives forever, bro. Because, like, I'm pretty sure, like, when I dropped that, like, the power, the influence of music hit me. It showed me the reality of, like, how your music affects people. Bro, I had friends, like, personally from high school, like, sending me, like, videos, like, crying, reacting to the song. Like, bro, like, I really feel this. Like, people that I wasn't, like, close with, you know, I knew.
What did that do to you? How did you feel when you were looking at those messages and shit?
I felt sad and happy. It was like, I felt sad and happy because, like, you know, the song, and, like, I'm sad, like, I'm excited, you know. I'm like, I was crying, like, you know, like, honestly, like, I was crying when I dropped the song. Like, when I dropped it, I was, like, crying, bro. I was just, like, super emotional, and what was going through my mind was, like, I never thought I would be this vulnerable on a song and show it to the world. And then the fact that I did that and got the reaction that I got from people, it made me feel like, yes, you're doing it right. You know the power of music. You put real feelings into a song, it's really going to resonate with people. Like, a lot of people felt that shit and really felt it. They're like, oh my God. Like,
we go through so many struggles, like, as artists, especially startup artists, right? Yeah. And, you know, some people, they be calling it hurdles or struggles or whatever you want to call it. You know me, I call them disasters.
Yeah, disasters.
So this interview series is called Disaster Tested. What do those two words mean to you if you had to explain it to somebody else?
If you ever been through, like we feel like somebody burned you, you know, where you gave yourself to someone, you know, you showed your soul to somebody, and in return they did as well. So that's the only reason you did. But, like, let's say you got burned, you know, and that happens. You learn to not touch the same flame twice. I remember my high school coach telling me that. So being disaster tested is, to me, is like, if you've been through some fucked up shit like that personally, and it doesn't change who you are, or and if it does change, it changes you for the better.
I think overall we're here to celebrate strength. We're here to celebrate the fact that we're all still here, and we've learned so much through the past struggles we've gone through, and that we have the confidence now to look at anything in the future as something we can conquer and not something we should fear, you know. And that's what we're doing with the clothes and all these artists I got coming on the show, with the music and everything surrounding UNSHOOK, is to put out this energy of confidence so people can wear the clothing, listen to the music, and it gives them this armor to where they can look at anything that might have to come up in the future of their lives and say, you know what, I can conquer this. You know, I'm gonna remain unshook through anything that comes my way. Which is why I'm just glad I got you on this show to talk a little bit about your music and all that, because I think you perfectly encompass that climb and those hurdles and just hopping over them, you know. And
yes, sir.
I like to see, you know, your path that you're on right now. I think you got a good thing going. I want you to talk a little bit about what's going on right now.
My first official album came out, Woodwork, right
here.
The hoodie.
You know? Tell me about Woodwork. Tell me about Woodwork. Everything about it.
So Woodwork is a metaphor for, you know, what a woodworker actually does. A woodworker is crafting. He's in the shop. He's in the cabin. You know, some cabins are far away in the woods, as you can see how I depicted it on this design. This is the album cover. Okay. So it just represents, like, us being far away, like, just working, you know, like, there's nobody around us. We're in the woods.
Are we talking an EP, an LP? Like, tell them about the listening experience with Woodwork, the whole project.
Okay, man. It's a full-length album.
Okay, full-length.
It's a full-length album all the way through. There's stories and there's slaps. There's some bangers on there, because honestly, I was feeling a lot of different types of ways when I first started in this music industry at 18. I'm 21 now, so it's 3 years later. But this is, you know, you just have to listen to it. That's all I gotta say, really.
I wouldn't have him on the show right now if I wasn't messing with his music. So that's it for the interview, guys. If you want to see the full extended interview, it's on YouTube. That link is down below, as well as all these other beautiful yellow links. If you click the yellow link, I promise it's to something cool, whether it's his music or my clothing. There's also discount codes down there. So Hassan, anything else you want to tell the people before they head out and start clicking those yellow links?
Thank you for tuning in.
Right.
Go listen to the Woodwork. Go cop some UNSHOOK merch.
Yeah.
And stay disaster tested.
Hey, stay unshook. Go do something cool today. I'll see you next week.
People toxic. I hear some people talking. When they see you fly, they walking. I wonder why so often you can't box me in a